What is going on, everybody? BobbyFi with my man Eric Sheets Haber for another weekend of PGA golf. Mine completely sucked last week, but I was happy to see Hideki win it. And Sheets, yeah, why don't you get us started here?
Dude, I am so psyched for this golf slate this week.
Ooh.
I mean, because I know exactly what I'm going to do. And, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do. There's a couple of guys that I'm really just honed in on. And because of that, I'm honed in on them. It's kind of hard to make. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's hard to play that many like lineups that I won't like, just because of the way the pricing works. And we can't build like full lineups here. But according to that email, by the way, that we got from them, they did specifically say that we could talk about cores. So I can 100% put like cores in and talk about that as long as I don't fill out full lineups. So. I am really psyched about the golf. I've become very psyched about the golf, even though last week was, I did fine, but it was not, not the, can't win every week, can't make a fortune every week, obviously. But I'm psyched for this week, man. I'm psyched for golf every week.
Awesome. Let's do it. Why don't you pull up your screen and we'll get started. Yeah, golf has been pretty good to you this last year.
Dude, last year, so I only started it this year. I was so psyched.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I think when you hit it right on the head, like I played like once or twice last year. And you know what I did? Before I just worked on these models or whatever, what I did was probably not the worst idea in the world to do. Like before we even started doing this, I would have like an account like Roto Grinders or whatever, whoever like cards and Noto liked. I just kind of wrote down. And I just like overweighted them and letting Optimal just kind of put it out there. And I'm like, okay, this looks good. And then you know what it was? Like I couldn't get into the sweat for some reason. I didn't even know what I was rooting. Not that I knew what I was rooting for, but and then you even said, I don't know, man, it's a good sweat. And then when we did that for the first week kind of together, and we both had a sweat, I'm like, maybe this was the problem. The problem was I just never really I didn't have a sweat before to worry about. So I didn't really know what it was like. So I like the sweat, and not only that, but I like the process that I've engaged in, whether it's right or wrong. It feels right to me, and so far so good. And I think what's interesting is that the golf is the one. You would think that I wouldn't be as good at it interested in it, because golf is the one sport that has just no correlation at all. Like there's none of that. So you don't get to like play around with what game stacks you want, what type of pitch stacks in baseball you want. It's really just, which golfers do you like? And what I am is kind of just a stickler for ownership. Like I will, there's just maybe because I play golf and I still be such a millimeter away from like look Xander last week. Xander, that 1 millimeter off the club face, in putting it on in the water on 16 when Hideki was just ready to roll over, right? And that whole thing, that's all you need. And so to play like a super duper chalky golfer is like it just really tempts the golf gods just a little bit too much. So yeah. I've just become a real stickler for it, like and to the point where I get ownership protection all over the place. So they're very solid. So even if it's like a 2% discount, I'll take it. You know what I mean? And I'll just roll with it. So I'm kind of happy with the process, and whether I win or lose, I'm very content with it. So you want to
yeah, let's jump into
that very, very long rant when I promise you would be a short video.
I like it. I think it's good. I like it. All right, let's talk about the top tier. Call me crazy, but I don't think that I am going to be wildly obsessed with this over 10K range.
Okay. So if you had to pick one, which one would it be?
If I had to pick one, probably be Morikawa. Okay. He would be Morikawa, and Berger would be my favorites.
So my two favorite like overall plays, if you don't count ownership, actually are from this range a little bit. So Webb Simpson's going to be like really, really chalky, but I do like him, but it's nothing clear cut. And I do like Berger a little bit. Again, 17% is kind of what I have even on an average. That's kind of okay. I'll just mention it. I tried my best to get to Cantley only because what's his name really loves him. Like Rick, like really like Cantley. So I just couldn't. I couldn't make it work. I just couldn't do it. But just a little disclosure. And Morikawa, I try. He's up there for me, but again, he's going to be a little bit on the 20% side. Also, not playing Cam Smith, that's for sure. But the guy who I'm going to play a little bit, all right, is not going to be my main guys because it's not going to be my main guy. And I thought you would give the same speech you always give. Like, why do we not just play the best golfer in the world? And he looks like expensive, but I have to say that at 10% ownership, which is possible,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to try it. You know, so and it's not really the way I usually play these top guys, especially in not the easiest field in the world. But especially considering he's not been in the greatest form either, leading into a missed cut at the Masters. So the last 2 weeks, what is it? He lost to Robert McIntyre in the match play, and then he went and missed the cut in the Masters. But like I said, I mean, 10% is 10%, and it's not just. And this was another thing I was going to talk about yesterday when I was ranting about leverage scores and being the top guy, whatever. He's also, I think, the only guy here who could, in my opinion, who could win this by 6 strokes.
Right.
Which might mean something. So I am going to play probably, 20 lineups of that. I'm probably going to have him in 20% of them, which for me is a lot for a guy like that. So I'm going to try it, I think.
I might come on to that as well. I'm maybe still a little tilted just because he destroyed my entire Masters.
Yeah,
I couldn't resist that one, and then going back to it at something that's, I don't know. I can get behind it for sure. I think I'm probably a little burned still. The next range seems like it's going to be the most popular range, and probably with some good reason anyway. I don't know. We can let you talk about this. Why don't you talk about who you like in the 9K range? We've got our Zalatoris, who I'm guessing every ownership projection is going to be at least like 5 or 10% low.
Yeah,
at least 5%, 10% of his ownership low. But at the same time, people hate to play guys after their big coming out whatever's.
Yeah, including me.
I totally think it makes no sense at all. It's never going to make sense to me because it's the opposite of what. I don't know. It's bizarre
what's
to me.
Actually happened. It's the opposite of what's actually happened.
Yeah, it's funny because it's something that more is like the way that I think, to go like against the grain or whatever. But you're very we're both logical, but you're extremely logical. There's no logical way to explain to me how because he golfs well one week is not going to golf well the next week, but if he golfs poorly, then we're going to like him. I just don't understand that kind of stuff. It doesn't make sense. But I know you're going to fade him because he's going to be popular. So who do you like in this range?
My favorite in this range is Terrell Hatton. And he is actually getting more popular than you think also. I only say you think because I know you like to look at the Roto Runners ones, and they're much lower than a couple of the others. So a couple of places have him at 20%, and I know RG probably has him 14, 15. So he's probably going to be a little more popular, but I do like him. And then I can't believe I'm a little bit tilted. I mean, Corey Connors is like a legit $9,300 golfer now. And I had him to win at 6,800, and it seemed like, oh my God, how is Sheets getting a win bet at 6,800? And he was right in it at the end, and it was going to seem like some miracle. And now he's like $9,300 chalk. It's like it's crazy what happens. But he looks good. And then speaking of chalk from last week, Paul Casey is the other guy who I kind of like in the upwards of 9K.
Yeah, he waited a little too long last week to start playing well. No interest in Fitzpatrick?
I wanted to, because it's funny. I was watching him, and I liked his game. I was watching him in the match, having the showdown. So I was watching his game, and I was really into what's his name, even though he didn't perform for us. I really like Neiman in general. I'm gonna keep playing him when he's got.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, but no, I just didn't get there.
All right, I'm just going to say that if we're going to go on the reverse sort of way of your thinking, shouldn't we play a little bit of Sungjae after a 13 over?
Yeah, so this is the
outlier performance.
I'm going to throw it out there again. Only because it's free. Am I even drawing him over there? I'm sure he'd appreciate it because more people. And so when Rick was doing his video, he was talking about how didn't really like Sungjae Im, didn't like Sungjae Im. Then he would he ran his model at the end. He's like, oh my God, Sungjae is one of my favorite golfers. I got to look into this more, right? So what that leads me to believe is that Im is a guy that people are going to try to not play, even though maybe they should. So I kind of like it a little bit. I mean, he's right there on the cusp of somebody I'd want to play. And because he's going to be under 10%, I think I'm going to do it. I like it. I like it. So I'm definitely adding him to the over 9K people.
All right. What about in the 8Ks? I've got I like Answer again. I know he's gonna be popular. I'm happy to take away some of that popularity with playing a little bit of my guy Fleetwood again. But I'm not really going crazy in this range. I'm not going to go nuts with Brian Harmon, who I also think will be really popular. Maybe I was actually considering Harris English, but I wanted to get your thoughts.
Lock.
You love him?
Lock 1 and Horschel lock 2.
Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't even get down to Horschel yet. Harris English and Billy Horschel. Why not? I love.
Well, there's 3. There's one under 8K too, but those are 2 of my 3 favorites. And then again, this is in fairness, like English is ranked like my 10th best, but because of the ownership, he like pops up to like 1 or 2. And likewise, Horschel, he's like probably 15th or 16th, but because he's going to be like well under 10%. I mean, I love both those guys, and and English still owes me money. So from when he dropped out after the first hole, so he still owes me. So I have to go try to collect that.
I agree. He does owe you one.
I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna play Answer this week because of the 20%. I always like him. He's definitely a good play, but I just don't think I'm gonna like him because of 20%. And Harmon, by the way, just throw it out there. He's also gonna be more popular again than you think. That's another one where
I thought he would be.
Where one side's 5% below the others. Like I got one place that's got him literally 24%. Another one's got him at 20. So don't expect him to be unpopular. So.
Right, I got you. Anybody else from over here? I'm not interested in Kevin, Matt Kuchar, or Lee Westwood.
Nope. Now would be the very, very bottom of that.
Well, you have the other Locky guy. Is it going to be Siwoo?
You think I'm locking in Siwoo chalk? No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
But
I thought
in fairness,
maybe. Go ahead.
In fairness, as we get below the 8K range, 2 guys. I mean, Siwoo. They're literally 1, 2, 3. There are 4 guys in the under 8K, which is 5 guys that I have in like my top 10 or 11 as far as values go, and one of them is like just super low owned. So I'm going to be lock whatever him. But under 8K, I like Siwoo as a play. 16%. I guess that's fair, and I'm probably going to play him, in some lineups with the lower owned guys. The other guy I have who I really couldn't imagine him being that chalky, but I guess so is Chris Kirk. Chris Kirk is showing up.
He'll be massive chalk. He'll be the highest owned player.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. It's so
just
funny.
Because he's never in this price range. He's always in the 87, whatever.
He's another guy. What did I play him at 6,100 at the beginning of this mess, right? So Kirk I like. Hoffman, I just don't believe it. So he can win without me. One guy who I really like, who's kind of like just about low enough owned, is Russell Henley. He's 7,900. But the guy I'm blasting is Lucas Glover at 7,100. So
explain the Lucas Glover love.
No reason. I mean, just the way he pops up in my model. That's the best I can describe it. I'm just not good at explaining why. You know what I mean? You want to know why? Because he rates for me the same as like 5 other guys in that range, and he's 7% owned. That's literally it.
Hey, that's good enough for me. I'm just going to mention I'm going to be mixing in some Cam Davis, Ian Poulter, Carlos Ortiz. I know it sounds crazy, and Sam Burns.
He owes us, right?
Sam Burns does not owe us.
No. Carlos Ortiz.
He only owes us from last week at the Masters.
Well, so he owes me from 22%.
Okay, fair enough. But he did also like didn't he top 2 an event that we had him at like a few percent ownership?
That's true.
So I don't know. We might owe him, but I don't know. But yeah, those are the guys for me in that range. I really like actually really like Streelman.
He's up there for me.
Yeah.
He's up there. And he's another one, by the way, I think he'll be a little, I mean, not through the roof owned, but I think he can get it. He'll be 10%.
Who have we got under?
I got one, and it's not particularly earth shattering. I mean,
is it Doug Gim?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I had too.
Yeah, I don't know, everybody's gonna play, but I think the people that play guys under 7K
will
play Doug Gim. You know, I don't know if you need it, but if you want it, it's there for you. And then I'm, you know, my next guy then is the guy that I did all right with a couple weeks ago. The Kazire is 6,500.
Oh yeah. Actually, Kazire is like showing up as being a monster. Like, wow, okay, interesting.
Yeah, and then him, and then the Neesmith a little bit. So he's another one. This is so weird. I have 2 plays that have been 5%. Another one's got freaking Neesmith at 15%, which is one of the things that's kind of cool. I did a video of this, how I'm gonna, when I integrate these sheets onto our site. One of the very useful metrics when I'm using like multiple projections is I actually write down what the standard deviation of the projections are. In other words, like how much different they are from each other. This way I can compare and see what kind of reliability I have, you know?
Yeah.
So that's, so like when I see like Matthew Neesmith, which is a 15, a 5, and a 3, you know, that to me means like it's, you know, it's probably not very reliable one way or the other. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I mean, as I said, we were talking about what order to do things because we have like a zillion different sports and different things going on. Golf is easy because you know what? I don't know enough about it to give you the full deep dive. You know, this is the end of the result. I mean, I look at projections. I watch Rick's video, and he, you know, who he likes gets filtered into my player pool. If Bobby has a strong opinion, he gets put into my player pool, and then I literally just look at my stuff, just try to take the lowest owned guys I have, and then I just roll. So I could go into. I mean, it would be silly for me to just talk about how XYZ's got XYZ strokes gained approach versus another guy or whatever it is. I will say that, you know, this particular course, you don't apparently. This is one of those weird courses where it's so funny. You watch Rick's video, he talks about this. On the one hand, it's you don't need to be a big hitter, but on the other hand, the number one determination of score was driving distance.
So that's a weird thing.
It's so you know what? It's a lot of it is for content providers to make things more complicated than they are. It is in a way sometimes just golf, you know, and you take good golfers at good prices up owned, and if the course fit is not 100% working for me, then I don't think it's going to bother me all that much. So that's maybe that's sacrilege to the real true golf crunchers out there, but that's hey, hashtag whatever works.
I mean, all I can tell you, I watched those videos. I watched everybody's last week, and the one thing I heard from everybody universally was immediate dismissal of Hideki Matsuyama. One consideration from any person who covers golf. I didn't hear one person mention him positively. I didn't say, "Hey, Hideki's cheap for this." I didn't hear a thing.
Excuse me, you didn't see it all you didn't see it all like 2 minutes after in the screenshots when everybody's like, we all told you to get on Hideki. We all told you, man. We all told you. I'm telling you, one of these days we got to do that. We start with our own.
Yeah,
we record everything. We'll just have a clip of and we'll actually like remember the actual clip. We'll play it. Best take from yesterday and worst take from yesterday. And because you got to own it, you got to own your shit, right? So like when you know, when I come out and say, you know, whatever, some pitcher, I'm like, dude, I'm not playing Musgrove at 9,100. That's ridiculous. I just don't believe it. I know he's projecting well, but you know what? Someone else can win with him. It ain't gonna be me. Then the next day, when it's a no-hitter, it's still right up there.
Yeah. Oh man, that's frustrating. All right, well let's talk about let's go quickly through the our little plays here. So who's gonna win it over 10K, or who's the most likely to win it? Who do you think will finish the highest?
For me, it's I'll flip a coin. Webb, I'm really between Webb and Berger. I'll just go by numbers if I'm going to do that. So I will say Webb Simpson.
Okay, I'm going to say Morikawa
Sounds good.
and the 9K range.
9K range, got to get top 5. All right, I'll go with the Mad Englishman. I'll go with Terrell Hatton.
I like it. Is he? I thought he was Irish. I don't know. Maybe I just got mixed up. I'm gonna go with the chalk here and say Zalatoris just because he's the greatest golfer to ever live.
He sure is. I mean that's for sure. I mean,
his biceps are like this big. I don't even know how he drives the ball up there. He's the skinniest guy I've ever seen in my life. But
that's golf, dude. I'm telling you, I see that a lot.
Yeah, I'm not a big golf person, so I don't know.
Yeah, I see that a lot. These skinny guys, they just have such flexibility sometimes. They just unwind into that.
Oh man.
So under who do you got? Oh, Salesforce. Under 9K's got to get top 10.
I'm gonna go with I don't have this range. I thought I had this one down. You know what? I don't want to take him from you. I will take one of them from you because you're gonna pick one of them anyway. So I'll take Harris English.
Okay, I'm gonna go full cheating tout life. Okay, I'm gonna, because I'm not playing answer as chalk. I'm gonna put him in this contest so that whatever happens, I'm in good shape.
Okay, I'm actually rounding out sort of a plan of what to do here. This is good. I'm glad we did this. All right.
Remember what Mike Tyson said, Bobby?
What's that?
Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Under 8K, who are we looking at?
Under 8K, top 20. Yeah, well, it's gonna be. Well, the best play is this, but I'll you know what? I'll go with. That's a real. I can't do the Glover. I'll go Russell Henley.
I think you were gonna go him. I was so sure you were gonna do it. I didn't mention this guy before, and maybe I'm not gonna use him for this, but I just wanted to mention because I didn't say it was Bezuidenhout.
Okay, he's in my top tier. I mean, I like him.
I like him too this week. Siwoo is the guy I like the best. I can't really get around it. So I also wanted to mention Munoz. I mean, those are the guys I was sort of flirting with as other pivots off of Poulter, who's going to be pretty popular. And then our under 6K guys, we've only got a couple of them, right? So it should be pretty easy.
Yeah. So I'll give you Gim if you want it, and I'll go with General Pat.
All right. I actually really like both those guys. That's good with me. That might be in like my main build. And by the way, you know who looked good the last time he was out there? I want to mention it was Doc Redman. Looked a little bit like he was getting back to a little bit. So he might be a little bit of an off the board guy who we might be getting back to where he was like a year ago, hopefully, and maybe we get him on the early part of the uptick. So
this is the other thing I'm going to do. I'm going to throw in a couple of things. I'm going to test my model out a little bit. So I'm going to give you the guy that rates the worst value, okay? And then I'm going to also give you so that when these guys win, you know, or make the cut, everybody can yell at me. So Hunter Mayhem is my worst. And then I'm going to give you also like the worst guy over 10% that I have listed, okay, on my value. So the guy that I will not have a share of who's over 10%, and that's going to be Ian Poulter.
Oh, I like Ian Poulter, but I think he actually is going to have some ownership too. So, So a guy who's popular who I won't have any of. These are always nerve-wracking for me because I always end up with like, I never know what you're, I haven't built out all my lineups yet. But, and it's odd because this guy is like was like literally one of my favorites last week. Cam Smith.
Okay.
That's my.
That's like that. Cam Smith is definitely like the morning grind game one because he's like, so expensive.
But he's like seriously like one of the best 125 golfers in the world. He really is good.
Yeah.
A little better than that, but he's not that, maybe not 10-2 good. Maybe not just barely priced underneath DJ good. I just last thing I'm gonna say before we get out of here, I'm just gonna come back to that. Maybe I should. Maybe we're making a big mistake again with the DJ thing.
No, we're not making. Yeah, listen, if there's a mistake being made, it's not going to be by me. I'm playing a solid 20% of him.
Okay.
I'm definitely doing it. You get it like, you know, it's like getting hardened at 5%. You know, like you just kind of have to play it. I just want before we get out of here, I just want to if you can just give me 15 seconds. Yeah, I just want to see if there's anything particular to to FanDuel in case people play over there.
Oh,
I'm
interesting.
gonna look real quick. Yeah, the one guy, actually Webb is gonna be a little less popular over there, but wow, this is, oh, you know what? I'm not even done with my FanDuel yet. Never mind. Okay, that's about all. That's about it then.
All right, guys. Good luck to everybody this weekend, and we'll see you at the top of the leaderboards, hopefully.